Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with the Critters, where we live stream every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, unless otherwise noted. And that happens when, hey, Maggie, when I travel, or sometimes we do Coffee with the Critters. We have a Coffee with the Critters, or Cocktails with the Critters, with an interview with a zookeeper from a zoo in Florida coming up. We also, before I forget, next Sunday morning, we're going to be having Coffee with the Critters with Dr. Deb Jones. We're also going to be interviewing her in a podcast, in our next podcast that we are recording next week. So here at the Animal Behavior Center, our mission is empowering animals and the people that care for them. And we do that through our live streaming, and we do that through the education that we offer to people all over the world. And we focus on training, and we focus on modifying behavior, and we do that through applied behavior analysis and positive reinforcement training. So I'm not sitting at my desk like I usually am. So I don't have all the recap for the past week, but for anybody that wants to know more about what we do, we've been live streaming our services for the past several years. You can go to our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. You can also email me at Lara, L-A-R-A, at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. Good morning, everybody. So I'm not sitting at my desk and using the app that I usually do. So the font is a lot smaller. Good morning, Sylvia. Good morning, Shannon. I say, hey, Therese had asked for some turtle training this week because it is World Turtle Day today. So today I'm going to stand up and do some training for you. What I have planned, we'll see if we stick to that plan, is we're going to start training some marmosets. We're going to train some turtles for World Turtle Day. And we're going to train some toucans that I just got into an outdoor enclosure yesterday. And I'm going to show you where I start training, why I do what I do. So I don't like to use force with animals. Using force with animals can be very easy, and it can be very detrimental, and it can be very stressful for the animal. And most importantly, it just doesn't need to be. So that's why we do what we do, and we show people how to train animals, and animals train us. It's not just about us. It's not just about the animal. It's about the both of us together. It's teamwork, and I'm going to show you how we do that. So before we move on, I just wanted to say, recap on the past week. What was it? Sweet baby Rico turned 17 on Friday. That's all that matters. That's all that's important. So let's go ahead. Does anybody have any questions before I get started? I'm trying to think if there's anything else important this past week that I need to touch on. I know for those that are in our memberships and our projects, we have our monthly Q&As coming up this week. We're going to have a marketing group discussion in level 2. Okay. You can find out more about that on our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. So let's go ahead and get started. And I wanted to show you, this is how I walk around each day. We are locked and loaded. I love these treat pouches. When I first start interacting with an animal, a lot of things, it's not the first thing I train, but it's one of these first things I train, is teach the animal to touch a target with its nose, its beak, its foot, its front paws, whatever. So these are target sticks that we, not only do we sell them, but we use everything we sell, and we don't sell anything we don't use. So what's nifty is this can go right in here, boop, and then we're going to be training some marmosets. So these go right in here. We do use different treat pouches for different species. I have my tongs in here. Sometimes we use treat pouches for different species. And these I'm going to use with maybe the marmosets, maybe the turtles, maybe the alligators. If we have time, I'll get to the alligators today. I have disinfecting wipes, and in here I am holding some mealworms for both the marmies and the turtles. And without having to dig in there, I also have some earthworms in the bottom. And because I need another treat pouch, I have some blueberries for the toucans. So let's go ahead and get started. What do we want to start with? What do you guys want to start with? Turtles? Or marmosets? Let's start with the marms. Okay? So these are a pair of young marmosets. They're about a year old. Tater and Tot. And what I found out about, Tree says turtles. Let me start with the turtles. I'll start with the turtles. Fun. They're fun. Okay, everybody's saying turtles. Let's start with the turtles. It's World Turtle Day, so let's start with the turtles. So let's take you over there. I just want to remember my blueberries and my coffee are sitting right here. These are turtles that I train, and I love training them, and it's really fun. Ooh, look at them. Let me step away and show you what it looks like when I walk back up to them. I started training these turtles, I don't know, I think it was in level 1 last fall or this past winter. And let me tell you, these are turtles about this size. And when I first started working with them, I transferred them to a new exhibit and that the kids love. But when they would see me, they would sit on rocks, and when they would see me or a person, they would dive into the water. So I had to approach them just like I approached my fish in my pond. Like, I just let them see the top of my head, and then I'd reinforce. So what I'm doing is starting to create conditioned reinforcers, which means something is paired with a primary reinforcer. All right, so let me turn this around and see if we can get a good shot on the turtles. So you can see how they're in that tub right there. So you can see how they act. Sharon, are you having a problem joining this live stream? When we now walk up. So now when you walk up, they swim towards you instead of away from you. And their tub is filled pretty high right now, which gives me less training space. What's up, Maddie? All right, so they do know the target stick. I want to see if you guys, so they're all swimming around here waiting. Let's say I want them up on that rock. Okay, got to make sure my treat pouch does not fall off my belt. And we are going to train them starting with mealworms today. So I'm going to hand them their mealworms like this. And here's another thing you need to pay attention to. When they go to eat this mealworm, if their beak bites the tongs, it's an aversive, and you don't want to pair aversives with something that you're trying to train. You could, oops, lost my mealworm. You could positively punish the very behavior you're trying to train, okay? An aversive is anything the animal does not like, all right? So it's important to grab the mealworm how you want it delivered. That gives us plenty of space, okay? So let's get them right here. Good. Can you guys see that? I'd like to zoom in, but I know I'm on Facebook Live, and when I zoom in, I have a problem zooming out during a live stream. So let's say I want these guys up on top of here. Good. So let's say the top of this rock is their scale. If that's the case, I can easily get them on top of the scale by putting the target there. I'm waiting for them to be paying attention. So let's say this is the top of the scale. Can you guys see me? Good. Okay, so a target can get an animal where we want them. We use targets with the links to get their bodies up next to their enclosure so we can prepare them for drops in their ears or vaccinations or blood draws. All right, so I want them over here because they need to be over here in order, easy guys, in order, here you go, to get on top of their scale. Makes sense? So what I can start doing, let's see, if I pull them all over here, that gets them in position. And you see they'll wait for the food. So once I get them over there, then now I can pull them over here. And once I put a target in an area, I don't like to move it. Right here. So then I could get it to the point that the only place they get fed is on top of here. Good. So you see they clearly know the target now. Here's the top of the scale. Got a good weight on my turtle. Okay. No need for force. Let's get our turtles on that scale. Nice job. And these were all turtles that, mind you, and some people on here can vouch for me because they've watched the live streams, that when I first started interacting with them, were very afraid of people. Here. Nice job. Oh. That's what I want to be careful of. And when I show these training demonstrations to the public, people love watching it because it shows that a lot of people think that there's some animals that can't be trained, such as reptiles, birds. All right. So now we are going to move on to, oh, look, it's Julie.
Oh, it's Larry.
I'm live streaming.
Oh,
John.
okay. Lawrence.
Okay, so now we're gonna move on from the turtles to the marmosets. So what I was gonna say, I love training animals that people think cannot be trained. Right, Julie? That'll teach you. I love training animals that people think cannot be trained because everything is trainable. And if that animal can see, hear, smell, or feel you, you are training it whether you realize it or not. The key question is, what are you training it to do? So let's move on to our marmosets. So I'm trying to show different species to you guys so you can see how this works across the board. Applied behavior analysis is not about just using with people. It's not just about, good morning, Susie, using with, let's say, primates. It's not just about using with dogs. Applied behavior analysis is B.F. Skinner's laws of behavior. This is the science of behavior, and it works across the board. So it works across the board. And I know a lot of people get upset. This has been an issue in the past, and not in my field of work, but I've seen it in the field of work in people, where people get upset about certain animal trainers talking about applied behavior analysis with their children. And the thing I want to remind people is B.F. Skinner started using this with rats and pigeons, and it's the laws of behavior. It now transfers across the board to working with all species. And people who say positive reinforcement or applied behavior analysis does not work, it is the best form of communication I have found to work with an animal, which is why I continue to use it. Those that think it does not work just don't understand how it works. So here is Titus, our young American alligator, and we use this with him as well, training him, but we're not going to train him today. We're going to train Tater and Tot after Julie comes through. You got two? Okay. I'd help you if I wasn't live streaming. So Adrian says behavior is behavior no matter what species. Yes. And then we can determine what is behavior, you know. A lot of people say the animal isn't doing anything. Like this. I'm going to buy some time while Julie gets another table out of here. What is Titus doing? What is he doing? Okay. People will say he's doing nothing. No, yes, he is doing something. He is laying on a rock. He is holding his head up high. You know, that is behavior. So I'm going, Julia, okay if I start training the marmosets? Am I going to be in your way?
No, I'll wait till you're done to get another table.
Okay.
I have them out there by 9:45.
Okay, I'll only be here for a couple minutes. All right, so here's Tater and Tot, and what's really cool about Tater and Tot is, yes, basking, Kimberly. What is really cool about Tater and Tot is marmosets can get a pretty nasty reputation. That's when we start labeling behavior, and we know labeling behavior can be dangerous because it puts behavior in a fishbowl where people think nothing can be done about it. You know, it starts saying that, implying that marmosets are, let's use some labels, nasty, mean, aggressive. What do those behaviors look like? So once you start training them, that doesn't happen, because I started hearing complaints of these guys are peeing on people, which was notorious for our last marmosets, peanut butter and jelly. But the more you interact with these guys, what I'm doing is redirecting behavior. The more I start interacting, and I interact through training, I don't get peed on. I don't like to be peed on. So let's start training something. I haven't trained these guys in a while, but I do train them for short periods of time every time I walk by, because I don't want them peeing on me. So let's start. Let's see. Let's say I want them to touch their nose to this end of the target stick. This is going to be easy. See, this is a peeing moment. All right, who wants to come here? Good. So see how he grabbed it? I don't want grabbing. So, good. So what I need to do, I'm here. Good. See how I can get animals to move? They both did it, so I need to make sure. Right here. Here. Good. Good. Can you guys see this? Good. So I need to determine, do I want them touching it with their mouth or their feet? Because they're doing both. Good. 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 So before, good. Good. So I'm sticking it right in their face, making it really easy. Okay, he didn't do it. Go back to this one. Good. So they're not touching the target stick. When they're not touching the target stick, I look and say, what are they touching? Or what are they doing? You know what they're doing? They're looking at this baby syringe full of banana baby food that is down by my side. So I'm going to start hiding it behind my back so they focus on this. Good. So this is where the bridge is super important. Bridge is the word good. So if they're not touching it, they don't understand the contingency. And contingency, good, is one of the 4 main factors of reinforcer effectiveness. Contingency meaning if this, then this. If they are not, if this, and they are not giving me that nose target, then they don't understand. I don't have contingency. So he's starting to pee. So that could be a sign of he's frustrated with he doesn't understand what is not earning, why he's not earning the reinforcer. Good. Mr. PP Mountains. Good. Good. So see, I have the behavior if I stick it right in front of their face. Good. When don't I have the behavior is when I don't stick it right in front of their face. So that tells me I'm taking too big of steps in my shaping process. So I moved it to the side. Didn't get it. It's telling me I'm taking too big steps in my shaping process. Ready? Up here? Nope, not getting it. Let's see if I get it right here. Good, got it. So that means, good, got it. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead. I forgot to do something with the turtles. I was gonna say, let's head out to the toucans. Now the toucans are, my training with them has just begun yesterday. And it was pretty cool because I paired myself with the blueberries immediately. And because I paired myself with blueberries with the toucans immediately, when I would drive by on my cart, the male toucan would recognize my face and I could tell by how he was behaving. So I had effectively shaped myself as a conditioned reinforcer. So what I need to do with these guys is, because I'm feeding them their breakfast, I suppose I could ask them to target. Instead of just going ahead and free feeding, let's ask a quick behavior. Look at all those turtles. Good. And then, hey James. Now they're all gonna fight over it. So before they let me get them another one. Hey guys, I got another worm. I've got another worm. Hey. There you go. So instead of just free feeding dinner, why not ask a behavior? All right, you guys want to see some toucans being trained? So these 2 toucans are, hi, somebody helping you? Yes, ma'am. Okay. These 2 toucans are red-billed toucans, and we just got them outside yesterday for the first time, and a lot of things can be very scary to them. I'm just... So let's head out to the toucans. All So you're gonna have to take a walk with me because it's a bit of a walk unless somebody drives by on a cart. But I can show you some of the animals here as we walk by. Obviously, we have some chickens. So we're getting ready to move the marmosets outside. They're coming out right here. We're gonna try to get that done today. Oops. I hope my internet connection makes it, but we're expecting today to be a busy day. I'm doing several training demonstrations out here today. I do training demonstrations on them to get on scales. We're currently training them to get on branches as well, and we move the branches because we're going to be moving them. We're going to be moving them outside and around this summer. I hear a cart. We're not too far from the toucans. Hey, Jeannie. How's it going? All right. What's that? Okay. So the zoo opens in about half an hour. So we're coming up here on our zebras and our giraffes. We have our crows and then our toucans. So I'm going to take you in the back way to the toucans. Here they are. Good morning. Well, here's one. Excuse the mess around the enclosure. I'm still working on, that's me getting in there, setting up the enclosure for them. We'll be putting a couple swinging branches in there. But there's the male. How are you doing this morning? Can I come in? So, observing behavior, he hopped closer to me and he's eyeballing the blueberries. Okay. Give me a second while I unlock this enclosure. Thanks for bearing with me. I don't have anybody to hold my camera for me today, so I have to do it all myself. So I was gonna take the mealworms out of my pocket, but these guys eat mealworms, so I'm gonna experiment with different reinforcers. Really be focusing on the bird as we enter here because I'm pretty sure they've never seen a tripod before. So, and I can't assume they understand. Yesterday I was in here with a keeper or it was a volunteer and they started moving branches and I was like, whoa, 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 hang on. These birds may not understand that this is a branch and what your intention is, right? Ready for me to come in? There we go. Okay, he moved away from me. So I do have the tripod in my hand. I am going to move it away from him and make it as small as possible. So I'll show you what he's doing. So this is all behavior that I watch. Okay. I got my body in between him and the tripod. If I have time after this, I'll take you over to Gators. I don't have their food prepared, but we are going to do great gator training here today. How you doing? Okay, so this is all behavior that I'm paying attention to and watching. Okay. Sorry. Grab a handful of blueberries. I noticed yesterday that he fills up on blueberries pretty fast. Getting it ready. Hiding the blueberries. See if he remembers. Good. Guess who's going to be next on my tattoo? Fruit and Loop. Good. So he did it before I could ask him. So I'll fly him towards the camera. See if he can fly this far. Can you do it? Not comfortable? Not comfortable. So yesterday we were working on something that would be very beneficial for visitors to see, because I love educating the public through my training. I mean, you get a lot of attention when you're starting to train animals. People like seeing animals engaging with people. So I try to make educational moments out of it. So this can attract, what I'm getting ready to show you, can attract somebody to the enclosure. And I'm using applied behavior analysis on everybody because I know how it works. Hey Debbie. So I can do something to get people attracted to the side of the enclosure. And then after that, boom, now that I have you, I can start telling you about conservation, statistics in the wild, why we interact with animals like we do, how we don't need to use force, how force causes stress, how stress causes medical issues, and blah, 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 blah. So, get them. So now this is a behavior chain. Ready? Yep. So I was experimenting with this yesterday, and people were like, oh wow, look, you can catch blueberries in the air. So that's how I can attract them over here, and then I can start informing them about the red-billed toucan. What do you think about that? Now let's see, ready for one more? Let's see if we can get the female out here. So I didn't have to lure. I was luring yesterday, I don't have to lure anymore. So luring means showing the reinforcer to get the behavior. Oh, look who's here. It's Fruit and Loop. Okay, so I need to be a little more cautious with. The male Fruit is curious. When I see curiosity, I know I have a great candidate for training. So I need to get to her. I don't know what's going to happen if she flies down here next to him. This is one of their first times outside of they no longer have a howdy cage. So I need to get her over here. So I don't want him attacking her. So I fed him first. And I fed him first so it occupies his attention, redirects his attention off of her, and then I'll slowly shape the behavior of him. Like this, watch this. This is shaping. So I'm gonna feed her first, but watch how fast I feed him. I don't know if he's not gonna go after her. You're good, James, come on. You're fine. That's all right, thank you. So I brought the blueberries up slow that time, and I did not feed her first. Because you see last time he went towards the blueberry. Those are small observations I'm paying attention to. So I don't know if she can catch blueberries, but let's see. We're gonna be doing public training demonstrations with these guys today. Lauren, you watching? Are you watching, Commissary Lauren? So let's toss him one. Let's toss her one. Yeah. That's exactly what happened yesterday. She reminds me of Levi. I throw the blueberry at her and it just bounces off her head. Okay. So I'm putting the blueberries behind my back. Good. So now we have contingency. And this is through using a continuous schedule of reinforcement. Continuous schedule of reinforcement means every single time the behavior is asked, a primary reinforcer is delivered, whether that's food or not. Yeah, what do you think? So he's been staying on my arm for a period of time, so I could reinforce that behavior as well. And you don't reinforce animals, you reinforce behavior, right? So I didn't ask him to go back, so I'm not going to reinforce that behavior. She's not ready to fly to the hand yet. So I'm trying to get him a little bit further apart from her. Try a, yeah, I think so. Down here. Oh, we can target train. Now, I don't know I necessarily need a target stick with him. So what I can do, which one vocalize? Her, loop. What I can do is teach them, this could be my target. I don't necessarily need a target stick. I can get the behavior without it. If I don't have to use a prop, I'm not going to, especially one that's not attached to my body. So I could start doing this. So rearrange the environment to get the behavior. Bug. Good. Good. So applied behavior analysis is using environmental events to get behavior. Me moving myself back and forth within the environment, that is an environmental event. And I'm moving my body because they're not following my finger. So what I'm doing is putting my body in that position and pointing my finger. So I could use this as the beginning steps of shaping my finger as a target. See where my body is? Okay. I have the blueberries. She's like, I know you have the blueberries, but he won't let me get to them. So he could be resource guarding, and I don't want that. Good. Yes. Good. So he's less likely to follow my finger. Yeah. She is. She's like, I got this. But he's watching her. So I'm paying attention to this. What are you nervous about? I think she just noticed the target stick on my belt. Yep. So I noticed she was getting nervous. And I think she just recognized this hanging from my belt. So I'm going to set this up here. So you can toss him a blueberry over there. Something's making her nervous. And I don't know, but we'll see. But I think it's him. Because I'm watching behavior change in him. Okay? I'm watching a lot of the, his head's tilting. I'm watching where his eyeballs are going. And see how he's moving every time she's flying. That's letting me know something is likely to happen here. and I don't want it paired with my training session. I don't want it to happen, and I don't want it paired with my training session. So I'm going to give him a blueberry. Darn it. So she flew off again, and it was as soon as he moved. So if I can't see behavior from the individual, I can pay attention to the other individual. And so obviously she's picking up on something. I'm picking up on it too. Come back here. See if she'll let me approach her. So let me see if I can move on to mealworms, because I need to continue to gather my list of reinforcers. You guys have any questions? So this is all, I mean, these are things that we show. This is what our projects and our memberships are all about, our live streaming. We do live stream training, and the importance is not necessarily in watching the actual live stream. It's being able to watch video unedited, so you can see areas where I may struggle, and trying to identify what is happening so I know how to rearrange the environment. So I now have mealworms in my hands. All I'm trying to do is identify reinforcers. Okay, so I just saw feathers on his head go up and down. And I'm looking at, what are you looking at? So, mealworms, not a big one. This was jelly bean. Curl crested sorry, she'd be all over it. So, nice try, but no cigar. I still want to feed here so I can better determine what is happening. See how she jumped when my hand came up? That's letting me know she's nervous. I don't want animals being nervous. Not in association with me, anyways. So he's standing with a blueberry in his mouth, and he tends to do that when he's getting full. She might be nervous in my treat pouch. She's sitting here looking down at it. She tends to, yesterday she was mouthing my watch and my ring. Ring's on that finger, but it's not on that finger. Yeah. So I want to pay attention to those vocalizations as well. I need to give her a reinforcer fast. So I'm pairing it with my arm. Nervous Nelly. getting frustrated because I'm asking too much. So what you're seeing now is I'm shaping a conditioned reinforcer. Arm goes up. Not asking her to step up onto it, I'm just pairing it. Something else I'm doing is I'm pairing my body movement with it as well. So, there you go. All right. That's enough for them for right now. I'm gonna head over to the Gators. I need to check on them before I start training, I believe at 10:30 for the public. So you are more than welcome to come with me. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll answer your questions at this time. Okay, she is not used to the tripod. Okay, so something else, it doesn't matter. Somebody had asked me which one is vocalizing. It's her. So, see you guys, thank you very much. So when I have an animal that is vocalizing, what I am paying attention to is what else is happening in the environment while they're vocalizing. So is she vocalizing because every time she comes to eat the food? Is she vocalizing when something else is happening in the environment? Because what that tells me is it's contextual, so she doesn't always do it when it might be ways to say, okay, she does it when she's nervous because it's paired with other behaviors such as body movements, flying away from you, which could all tell me the animal's nervous. I don't think I any longer need the tripod. Did you hear that on the radio? Needing help getting a primate in their catch cage so they can go in and put the daily enrichment in. Yes. That makes me a very happy camper. There's our toucan enclosure, African crown crane. So anybody have any questions? Because what I'm going to do now is just take this time to answer your questions. I'm going to take you over to the Gators. And I don't know if I'll be able to train them this morning because I don't want to ask a behavior if I don't have a reinforcer to deliver. So what if I ask a behavior, they give it to me. Nope, I'm going to Gators. What if they give me a behavior that I wanted, that I asked, and I don't have a reinforcer to deliver for that behavior? Then I could positively punish the future behavior of that animal giving that behavior, because why would it want to do it? Animals aren't going to do, yeah, they will. I was going to say animals aren't going to do things just because you said so. I see animals doing things, unfortunately, more than I would like out in the world when they do things just because you said so. That usually means the animal's behavior is negatively reinforced. What that means is, negative reinforcement is something I try to stay as far away from as possible. It means the animal's giving you the behavior, or the person is giving you the behavior to escape, avoid the consequence of the alternative if it doesn't give you the behavior. And that is a form of force and coercion. And in the field of animal behavior, in the field of behavior, we know through studies that animals learn faster if their behaviors are being reinforced for what to do versus what not to do. Morning, girls. You're fine. I'm just live streaming some training. Later, Gator. Okay, so Here is our new, in the process, small gator exhibit. You guys have not seen me train these guys yet because I haven't started, because I've been waiting for him to get outside. So this enclosure was just built, and there are 13 gators in here. We need to go in and do some landscaping. I need to go in and do some training. And we just moved these guys out here 2 days ago. And people make fun of me because when I see these guys, I was like, oh, they're my little puppies. Come here to me, my little puppies. So, and right beside this is, I'll show you, our big gators. These are the gators you guys may have seen me going in with last year. Morning. So the zoo is getting ready to open. These are the gators you saw me going in with last year. Let me take you in. Let's go take a look. I've got to walk up. Oh, look at this. Unlock this gate, get through this gate. Here they are. These are my big puppies. Daniela asked, so you are only using a continuous schedule of reinforcement, not an intermittent one? Daniela, you may or may not have heard me say in our podcast, our monthly podcast that I record in level 1 and level 2, I always use a continuous schedule of reinforcement when I am first shaping a behavior. Once the behavior is learned, I then start using an intermittent schedule of reinforcement. So I do train these two. This year, there are 3 in here, and I think that one right in front of me, I don't know, is the newest one. I'm trying to figure out where the 3rd one is before I go in there. I will be going in here this afternoon with some meat, but let me show you this, okay? So is anybody on here that watched my alligator training last year? I know I live streamed my training in level 2 quite a bit. I did a whole presentation and webinar on training these guys. So my conditioned reinforcer, which is a cue, is this. 1, 2, 3. These guys have been out for a few days. They're warming up. So I did this the other day. Let's see if they remember, because they just started eating again. They haven't eaten since last October. I remember last year, after 4 or 5 months of being in an indoor enclosure, I came out and did this, and they responded. So this is their cue to come to me. Let's try it. Ready? I'm not going to guarantee you it's going to happen. Okay, here we go. Look at that. These are my babies. Come to me, my little puppies. Yes, they do remember, you guys. I haven't fed them since last October. And they remember. Hi, guys. So I do go in with these guys. Hi, guys. I miss you so very much. I love you guys. Yeah. So you're hearing their different sounds. They bellow. You get a slight bellow there. And they'll go, So they're patiently waiting for their food. Lauren Way, are you listening to me there in commissary? My puppies need their meatballs today. So this afternoon, if you're coming here to visit the zoo, I will be going in with these guys this afternoon, doing some alligator training. Yeah, you're right. I didn't bring anything, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so we just got a bellow. That's a good thing. And if you're interested in our level 1, level 2 membership, or morning. Good, how are you? If you're interested in our level 1, level 2 memberships, where we show our alligator training and zoo training in level 2. Also, you may be interested in attending a workshop here with us at the Animal Behavior Center and Indian Creek Zoo, you will definitely want to email me and get me on a waiting list. Our workshops, when I have a zoo workshop, sells out almost immediately, probably within a week. So we have one scheduled. We're getting ready to schedule another one. You can email me at laura@theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. And I want to thank you all very much for taking the past hour out of your life to spend it with me and showing people how we can make the lives of animals just skyrocket. All right, take care, everybody. I'll see you next week on Sunday morning Coffee with the Critters with Dr. Deb Jones. My puppies, I love you.